you have started asking yourself a question. Are you actually bringing the best of yourself into your work the way you know you have potential to? You can sense there is more in you, something you have not let out yet, and something that would change how it feels to do what you do. But when you try to name it, what your real strengths actually are and what makes you distinct and what you would lean into if you trusted yourself fully, you cannot seem to get a hold of it. So you make a list and you think about what you have trained yourself to do, all these things that are on your resume. And what you end up with sounds generic or smaller than what you actually bring to the table. Here is a different way to think about this, because the things that genuinely makes you special, the thing that makes you necessary, not just replaceable, that thing is almost certainly not on your list because you cannot see it. It's too close to you. To you, it is invisible. We tend to look for strengths as if they are things that pop out, as if they are something we did almost against our nature, something we had to push ourselves to learn. So we think of strength as effort, but the strongest abilities you have are the opposite. They are what you do so naturally that you don't even register it as work. And they are what you see in a room that other people just don't see. They are what you do instinctively when something matters or what people come to you for without you ever asking for that role. So it's not what you trained yourself to do. It is what you can't help but do. And that's exactly why you can't see it. Because to you, it's not something special. It's just the way you are. And this is the trap. You are looking for your strengths as if they are something you have earned. But your real strengths are not something you've created. They're something that you bring with you. So let's look at this differently. I want you to think of someone you admire. Perhaps a leader, a friend, a colleague. Perhaps it's someone you have worked with at a moment where things just seemed to come together. And you knew that it had something to do with them. So think about, what is it that they actually do? It's rarely what's on their resume. It's the way they think through complexity, perhaps without making it complicated, or the way they hold 10 conflicting considerations at once and they still manage to arrive at a clear decision. It could also be the way they sense the temperature of a room and they adjust without it feeling like strategy, or the way they see 3 steps ahead while everyone else is still discussing the first, or the way they make the difficult easier for other people. You can see it in them. You already have that filter. You've just never turned it on yourself. But when you do turn that filter inward, here are the questions that work. What do people consistently come to you for? Not because you ask them to, right? But because they instinctively know that if this is going to be handled properly, they need to bring it to you. Or what do you do when people say afterwards, "Thank you, that was really helpful," even when you cannot point to what it is that you did? What do you see in situations that others don't? And what do you do so easily that others struggle with? It might be making something complex understandable or holding multiple perspectives at once. Perhaps you are able to see where something is going wrong before it goes wrong. It could also be that you are the type that creates direction when others feel stuck. What do you think people would miss about you if you were not there? These are all the signals. They're not on your resume. They have no title. They show up more like patterns across situations where people come to you or where something happens through you that moves things around you. What you find easy is not unimportant. It is, in fact, the most important thing about you. You just can't see it because for you it is hidden. And I realize that for some people listening to this, you are resisting this because you are thinking, but I am not really that special. If I had something genuinely valuable, surely I would know by now. And surely it would feel much more obvious to me. But let me tell you, the reason you don't see it is not because it's not there. It is because no one comes along and hands you that awareness. You have to take ownership of it yourself. And that is so much harder than it sounds, because the things that are most distinctly yours, they feel ordinary to you. They come so easily that you assume they must come easily to everyone. So you probably already get feedback that points directly to these things, but you have not let yourself believe it. Not until you decide to look at yourself with the same clarity that you would look at someone you admire and take what you see seriously. Nothing will shift until then. But the moment you do, something will. There is a distinction here that's worth slowing down for. Capability and capacity are not the same thing. A capability is something you have. It's like a skill. It's something specific you can demonstrate. It is measurable, describable, and presentable on a slide. Capacity, on the other hand, is something you are. It's the way you hold things and how you make others feel seen, how you sense a situation and you shift it without thinking, and how you make complicated things really simple or simple things much deeper. It's also how you stay clear when others lose the thread. Capabilities can be listed on a resume. Capacity cannot. But capacity is what makes people come back to you. It is what makes you necessary and not replaceable. And it is also what you cannot see, because you're so used to being yourself that you have forgotten that it is something distinct. All of this is to say that you do not need to build your real strengths. They are already there. You just need to learn to see them and trust them and use them accordingly. If any of this resonates, I want to say one more thing. The reason you started asking yourself what you are good at, it's not really about your strengths. It's about something bigger. I bet you have started sensing that something in your life is a bit off and you cannot really name what it is. So you have begun examining the pieces. For instance, your work, your direction, your strengths, and your purpose. And you are trying to look for where the misalignment is. The questions are good ones, but examining the pieces one by one is exhausting and it rarely leads to clarity. There is a short self-assessment called Nothing is Wrong, So Why Do You Feel Off? It's linked in the description and it takes 3 minutes. It does not ask you to figure out what you are good at or what you want or where you should go next. It helps you see at a higher level what is actually out of balance for you right now. Because that's the real question underneath all the other ones. You can find it in the link in the description.